The detective was perfectly leading him, but when the detective said,
Any type of injury he had following a fight, altercation.
Well, then
we right.
he thought the detective was perfectly falling for his lies, not knowing that this was a classical psychological trap set by the detective in the form of projection theory and minimization technique.
I was fighting or whatever the case may be. Security, rail, or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I get it.
By using these theories, the detective allows Ortiz to project blame. The detective gives him a false sense of control. But the moment Ortiz tries to shift blame, the inconsistencies grow, digging him deeper. The more Ortiz talks to justify, the more he reveals the absence of normal adult concern, which becomes evident to both viewer and interrogator, resulting in his conviction.
And you know the family a lot better than you.
What do you think? I don't know. Seriously, I don't know.
But the pertinent questions are, who is this man? What happened on June the 13th, 2017, and how detectives psychologically trap him with a perfect bait.
Some of the bruises were in the shape of a belt buckle.
I ain't gonna let these smears say that.
Welcome back to my channel. I don't have many followers, but your single comment is a ray of hope for me. On June 13th, 2017, 4-year-old Giovanni Mejias was found unresponsive at a mobile home in Gaines Township, Michigan, where he lived with his mother, Sonia Hernandez, and her boyfriend, Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves. Ortiz was alone with the children at the time and claimed the boy was sick, possibly from ingesting chemicals or being dehydrated. However, medical examination revealed severe internal injuries consistent with blunt force trauma, and an autopsy confirmed Giovanni died from homicidal abuse, with multiple older injuries also present. All surviving children in the home told investigators that Ortiz regularly hurt them and Giovanni. Finally, cops arrest Ortiz and brought him in for the interrogation, and today we will focus on the psychological elements of this interrogation.
He was laying down in his room up, and after that, I took a shower or whatever. I usually shower, replicas sometimes. So, yeah, I make him take the shower, like, go the shower, whatever. That when he gets up, like, I don't feel good. All right, well, I grab him, just kind of hot, so like, all right, come on. So I turn the shower on for him. He gets in the shower. I go back up to the front. I get some water, a cup of water, because he had a maybe just roughly woke up when I just woke him up.
Okay.
I gave him some water and some bacon. So I go back there. Like when I go back there, he's in the water or whatever. And then like, I don't know, it just seemed like his body, like he just looked like he was getting stiff, like he couldn't move.
Early in the interrogation, the detective allows Ortiz to talk uninterrupted, nodding along as he tells a long, inconsistent story about the child being sick, drinking water, taking a cold shower, and vomiting.
So I grabbed him out of the water. The water was kind of cold, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, he was kind of warm, so I was trying to like wake him up or whatever. So
How cold was it? Was it the water only got cold, or no, it was like, like mid, you know what I'm saying, mid cold, mid hot, a little warm. Yeah.
Okay.
So I grabbed him out the water. I'm like, right, and like he couldn't move his body. He was just looking at me, and he like, yeah. I'm like, buddy, are you all right? Are you all right? He's like, yeah. So I try to give him some water. I give him some water, and like he's drinking there, but at the same time, like I don't know, it's like he drank it, but it was like he got like it was getting stuck. So like to give him the water, keep giving him all like, buddy, you hold you up. He's like, yeah. So I tried to give him some bacon, and I just keep trying to give him water. And then like I feel like his stomach is filling up.
How much water would you say you gave him?
I just kept trying to give him water, because I don't know, I didn't know what was going on.
The detective asks for clarification and pretends confusion, like asking how cold the shower was or how much water the child drank.
Like I felt his stomach to like the point where like it was rolled and hard. So throw up. So I'm trying to push on his stomach for he to throw up, but he ain't throw it up. So I try to dip my finger to my feet to throw up. He bit me right here. You know that? I'm like, throw up. I didn't know what to do. So like all of a sudden, I go to get him some clothes or whatever. becoming like that came in the back, and I'm like, no, go in the front, go in the front. So like the light shut off. So now I'm like, he's
Wait, where you in the bathroom still?
no, no. By this time I went to my room, I get a towel, I'm trying to get him covered up and everything. So now I'm in his room trying to get him some clothes.
Is he saying anything to you at this point?
No, he's like, he just stare at me. He might say like one word, but he's not really, not saying nothing. So by this time, I go in his room and I lay him down.
Notice how the detective often lets Ortiz keep talking, even after Ortiz seems to trail off or ramble. He doesn't interrupt, he waits.
Like this. I take this chippy step up to the plate like I have my own kids. I love my kids. I see my kids. I take care of my kids. And I feel like a small fault, man. Like he's not doing nothing.
What?
Do nothing.
Someone said that he had been sick before. He's been sick for a while. Is this a new thing? I mean,
No, he's been after a little. I don't know if it's 6 ago, cause it's been like going on for like about 2-3 weeks now.
how long from the time that does that normally take?
Like last night, he ate.
What did they have last night?
He ate pizza.
Okay.
He ate the pizza. Boy, he had a bowl of cereal first. Then he went and ate the pizza. Tossed wires. Whoa, blew it up.
Okay. And he drove the cereal and the pizza?
He threw it up, yeah.
The detective repeatedly circles back to the timeline. What time Sonia left, when Ortiz woke up, when he gave the child food, etc., causing Ortiz to alter or repeat his story.
Y'all just want to put all the blame where I don't want, him, but even him, you know what I'm saying? Well, see, boy, it's the truth, right? It didn't come from nowhere else that you could tell.
But yeah, and like when I first, whatever, I guess, I don't know, it was her family, honey. February 22nd, when I had
Check. Did you get trust like it's
no, I finished every. And they're just up at night. Like because I tried to give a chance to their kids. I love kids. I don't know if I got my own kids,
Ortiz repeatedly says, "I love kids," or "I took care of my own kids," likely in response to subtle cues or affirmations by the detective. This ties into self-concept theory, when suspects are made to affirm their goodness. Any challenge to that identity creates internal conflict. A caring person wouldn't hurt a child. So when the evidence starts contradicting that claim, the suspect experiences moral dissonance, making it harder to lie convincingly and easier to catch them off guard.
Was there any problems that he had, any type of injury he had following a fight, altercation?
Well, they always fight. You know what I'm saying? They fight every day. They always fight. Well, that's like a normal thing for them.
But was there anything like you walked in and he was unconscious, or he had a pretty big bump on his head, or anything that would, tell you that he had been in a pretty significant fight?
Well, yeah, like, a couple times, he came up to me like, "Oh, Nelson," against the wall or whatever. And I said, "I'm like, oh, it's a bump. Okay, we'll put some ice on you. Okay, you know what I'm saying?" But
So how late would it been? Was that around this 2 week time, before or after it?
no, this was probably about a week ago too, when he came up to me and told me that.
Jack. And same time he got me like, we have the wall here, scraped his face right here. Okay.
The detective lets Ortiz hint that maybe other kids pushed Giovanni or caused his injuries. This works through projection theory and minimization technique. By allowing Ortiz to project blame, the detective gives him a false sense of control. But the moment Ortiz tries to shift blame, the inconsistencies grow, digging him deeper. The more Ortiz talks to justify, the more he reveals the absence of normal adult concern, which becomes evident to both viewer and interrogator.
You said only a couple days ago when he had the food the soda pop and ice cream and stuff, and he started getting like, what do you describe it as more sick?
Well, he just looked like, he looked like he was getting like, sounded like feel like he just had got into something. He was just, about to pass out or something.
Do you think he got? I mean, if you're gonna guess, do you think he got into something?
Well, when I asked him, he started looking around like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna show you what I got into, but he wouldn't, like he wouldn't go directly to it and grab it.
So you think he did get into something?
I mean, I think so. Like I always asked him, and you gotta tell the truth about it. So when I asked why did you get into something, he goes like looking around like he's gonna grab what he got into, but then he don't go grab it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
what would be your best guess as to what you think he got into?
I don't know. Cause like this
Chemicals there.
After long stretches of logical questioning, the detective watches Ortiz break down and then gently returns to facts. This tactic leverages the emotional regression theory. As suspects experience stress, their cognitive control weakens. They regress to emotional thinking, becoming easier to manipulate. The detective doesn't confront Ortiz directly. Instead, he uses empathy like a psychological mirroring trap, allowing Ortiz to hang himself with his own inconsistencies while seeming supportive.
What chemicals would be out and acceptable to him?
probably that Mr. Clean
What is it, Mr. Clean? What?
I don't know. It's
The toilet bowl cleaner. I mean, there's all different kinds of sprays, all kinds of stuff. Was this a captain spray? Is it?
I was in one of those. I couldn't get where it's like fear about his drink.
Is the stuff so you were supposed to mix water with it, like concentrate?
I don't know. I just did. I mixed water with it and I just like cleaned because it smelled good. So I cleaned the toilet, the tub, and everything else with it. You know what I'm saying?
How much of it did you was there all before you put the water in?
I like half of it.
Half of it at right bottle?
I got this one. No, not half of the bottle. For frick color. If I like, a good amount of quarter in.
Not even.
The detective subtly invites Ortiz to speculate about what the child might have gotten into: chemicals, cleaning products, even glue. This is rooted in the strategic disclosure of evidence, SDE, framework, and cognitive interview theory. By not confronting Ortiz with contradictions too early, the detective allows him to fabricate or stretch alternative explanations. The more Ortiz talks, the more he commits to lies that can later be disproven with forensic evidence. Letting a suspect build their own theory of innocence forces them into a box, one that collapses the moment facts contradict even one detail.
I might have one sitting on my dresser
Or whatever, say out.
Is that yours? Own purse? No, it's not mine. Okay. Is it prescribed to anybody you know, or is it?
I might just tape or whatever, say must
Prescribed you. I mean, obviously, I can understand do this. That's because he's obviously got some problems. And
No, but I don't hold that against him, you know what I'm saying? I try to make the best,
Instead of directly accusing Ortiz of neglect, the detective normalizes the idea of unsafe environments. This taps into the minimization technique, part of the Reed interrogation method. The goal is to make the suspect feel less threatened, encouraging them to open up. By making the behavior sound common or understandable, the detective gets the suspect to admit to facts that sound harmless, but are later reframed as reckless or malicious. Ortiz admits to leaving glue and chemicals within reach. While it seems like a small admission, it's a psychological setup for proving endangerment and negligence.
their deal with that or whatever.
whatever became of that.
Nothing.
wherever next day saying like. So
But I mean, I gotta ask you. So is she still with him? Oh, all right. Well, I mean, it's only song.
So, but other than that, I try to build a relationship with her because I don't hold it against her kid, So all I do, man, I try to imply, okay, you don't do this, you don't do that, this is how you do it, this is supposed to do, That's it, that's all I do,
What as far as punishments? What's standards of the scene?
Wall, stand in the wall there, will knock about it. Well,
Okay. Spanking?
No, I did lateral for his leg, but I haven't body.
The detective listens without judgment, lets Ortiz speak about his relationship with the child, and even acknowledges his efforts. This employs cognitive dissonance theory again. By aligning with Ortiz's self-perception, I love kids, I'm the one there for them, the detective builds up his emotional investment. When contradictions arise, such as admitting to spanking or exposing the child to drugs, the guilt is amplified because it challenges Ortiz's self-image. That guilt drives the suspect to keep talking, even when it hurts them.
All right. I'm just trying to get in my head here about this Mr. Clean. So there's a bucket that was kept where exactly? In the hallway. In the hallway. Is there still water in that bucket? Yes. And then was it kept anywhere else?
Under the sink.
And that's the bucket of this? No, the concentrate.
Where it concentrate, where it comes in the bottle. The bottle's under the sink and the bucket.
Oh, and this is a spray bottle. The kind of works. Just what color bucket is it? The bucket, the stuff is, yeah, it's a white bucket.
The detective frequently acts like they don't fully understand. This is based on the Socratic method and the cognitive load theory. By feigning ignorance and asking for repeated clarifications, the detective forces Ortiz to repeat his story with greater detail, making it more likely that he'll contradict himself or unintentionally expose a lie. As memory falters or false narratives get more complex, the mental burden increases and truth leaks out in fragments.
How long has that bucket been there? How old is it, bro? And when he felt sick, when he had the pop on, I think his ice cream said that you got, and he looked pale and sick. And he was going to take you to, when you asked him what he got into, he was going to take you somewhere. Where do you think he was going to take you to?
I don't know, cause he'll walk out, he'll look in the bathroom, and he's like, all right, come on. We walk to the kitchen, he looked under the sink, and there's Sherry, he's like, all right, what you got into, man, I need to know, you know what I'm saying, for I can know what to do.
Yeah.
And then he'll go back to the back room, and he'll go back in the what you got into. But he'll never go grab, go grab what he got into.
At moments when Ortiz trails off or stalls, the detective doesn't rush to fill the silence. Instead, they leave space, sometimes awkwardly long. This is the silence pressure technique, which draws from Gestalt psychology. Human brains are uncomfortable with silence in social situations, especially when guilt or stress is present. The silence becomes an emotional amplifier, making suspects feel the need to justify, clarify, or keep talking, often revealing more than intended. Ortiz, already nervous, begins over-explaining his story, veering into unnecessary details like drug storage and child behavior, revealing more vulnerabilities in his version.
Left it alone. You know, I just left to do each still sick after that. No, I just told him lay down, you know what I'm saying? I will go lay down or whatever.
How long when he laid down? Well, first of all, what time did that happen? Was that during the day? Or was it during,
That was like during the day, probably around 12.
Okay.
About 12.
And it was me. Here. Alright. What did he do? Did he lay down? He said he didn't want to play. He didn't feel.
No, yeah, I just did. Just talking about lay down. He wouldn't lay down in his bed. You know, I went when I'm on room. I went straight through.
How long was that?
Oh my God. 2:50, 3 o'clock.
Okay. And was it at that point?
Yeah.
Okay, were you up at that point?
No. When she came home, I got up, you know what I'm saying? You know, obviously, he was up or whatever, you know.
The detective doesn't accuse Ortiz of harming the child directly. Instead, they ask, what made you think he got into something this time? You've seen him sick before. Why did this time feel different? This draws on motivational interviewing and neutral framing. By not triggering defensive behavior, the detective encourages Ortiz to reflect out loud, which often results in them contradicting earlier statements. Ortiz says the child was sometimes sick, sometimes fine, sometimes pale, a web of inconsistencies that expose his narrative as manufactured.
When we go walk to the store or whatever, it'll be fun. And then, you know, some days you're not.
So what made this different to be like, hey, what'd you get into? So what I mean is, what made the 2 days ago when you thought he got into something, what made you think, man, what'd you get into, versus because you had been sick, for 2 weeks and not feeling good and sitting down. So what made it so worse to make you think that he got into something?
I did have drugs, a drug there though. But it wasn't like, I don't think it was like exposable to Reiki.
But you already being
As in, not got it.
perfect.
No, different.
What did you have there?
Cocaine.
Okay, where was this at?
This was in my drawer.
All right. Hans was there.
Oh, probably like 20, nothing big.
Ortiz casually admits there was cocaine in the drawer. The detective doesn't overreact. Instead, they ask follow-up questions calmly. This uses foot-in-the-door technique from persuasion psychology. Once a person admits to something minor, just a little coke, they're more likely to admit to larger truths because the psychological barrier has already been broken. The detective knows this kind of admission destroys Ortiz's claim of being a responsible caregiver without having to say it aloud.
Powder. Powder. Did you go check it? Was there any missing?
No, like I had some in the bag, and then I had some on the weird thing.
Yeah. How would it? Was there any missing up the mirror? Tom, how would I mean that? Chill.
How much coke was there? It was like a $20 so small.
Do you still have coke in the house now? No, I know. Where'd that go?
Used it.
So aside from the coke,
No. You
you've been sick off and on.
No, but I'm real serious about the fact that, bro. Oh, you didn't want to say it.
Well, I appreciate you being honest. Let's be real. That we're talking about him. I'm worried about him, not cocaine. Whatever. That's here or there. Is there anything else in the house that? No. Whether you want to say it or not, we just want to make sure that.
No, there's nothing. No drug, no gun on that.
Ortiz is allowed to talk freely and in great detail about water, cups, showers, drugs, bruises, sleeping habits, and even the color of plastic cups. Ortiz ends up contradicting earlier statements, e.g., amount of water, child's condition, timing of events, exposing gaps that detectives can later use.
Okay. So it's on a mirror on top of that.
Yeah, but, like I used to just cover it with my car or whatever. I had it on the mirror like that.
So the mirror stuff still sitting there? No. Where's the mirror at now?
Just clean, put it where?
Well, put away where? In the house still?
Yeah, I don't know where I put it. No.
Okay. Is it like a small circular one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would it be like in the bathroom, or do you normally keep that stuff in your bedroom, or?
No, I cleaned it. It's just a mirror. So I think I had cleaned it and I forgot where I put it. I don't know if I put it back in my room or I put it in that little white shit in the hall where I put it. I think I'll put it somewhere. I don't remember exactly where I put it. All right.
Tell me about this cut. So he went in the shower. Was it actually the shower that was running this morning when he got up?
Yeah.
When you got him, also that he would feel good. You wanted to wake him up, so you took him and you put him in the shower. Then you said you went and got him some water. Yeah. What kind of cup was that you went and grabbed? So
How big was that cup? Probably like this big.
Detectives ask about bacon, cups, shower routines, and bruises in a casual, almost friendly tone. Ortiz offers unnecessary admissions, e.g., he gave excessive water, tried to induce vomiting, saw bruises, thinking they sound harmless, when in reality, they suggest abuse or neglect.
yawning out, probably that would be.
No idea. Okay.
Is it plastic glass? Plastic. Was it like see-through? Or was it like
No, it was like you can't see through it. It's solid.
But it was a normal cup. It wasn't like a solo cup. Not a this full. Was solid plastic blue cup. So you go get that, and you said you were pouring. You went and got bacon. How much bacon did you
It
get?
was just like what little strip.
Okay. Where was that at?
That was it was in the microwave, but I had set it on the couch.
Okay. All right. Did you the bacon that morning?
No.
It was like a day old, you know what I'm saying? But I just grabbed something real quick to eat or whatever, because he ain't, you know what I'm saying, so I turned to he ain't surplus up. when I would have grabbed the water in the bacon, I came back there or whatever. And I grabbed him out the shower and I put him on my lap like this. And I started.
Where's the one you on your lap at?
I put my knee on put my foot on the toilet, and I saw him right here.
Okay, so you're sitting on the toilet?
No, I'm standing.
You're standing up with your foot on the toilet.
Foot up.
Detectives ask about where the cocaine mirror was, what kind of cup he used, where chemicals were stored, or how drawers smelled. Without showing alarm, Ortiz becomes overly comfortable. He mentions drugs, admits he can't remember where items are, and reveals the home was unsafe, all without realizing the damage he's doing to his own narrative.
I got him right here and I'm just giving him the water. You all
Why
right?
did he cup the water each?
I don't know, not a lot.
Where were you getting the water from?
From the shower now, because I can't run with you to the front, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm getting out the shower, keep trying to give
You
him.
say a lot.
You have 10 cups, 20 cups, 30 cups?
I don't know, I'm just giving him water, just constantly water. I mean, you know, I'm thinking, you know, maybe he's dehydrated or whatever, you know, so I just keep getting the water. I gave him then to Jimmy when you're giving him water. He's just like, he'll drink it and he'll, you know what I'm saying, kind of like he'll choke on it, but then he'll be like, all right.
Did he throw any of it up
Yeah.
while you were sitting there?
No, not while I was sitting there. When I went and laid him down, like when I laid him down, tried to do CPR and whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that time he do some up. But before then, his stomach was like bloated, so
Was it loaded before the water?
and after I'm putting the water in, you know what I'm saying? So
The detective revisits topics, like when the child was last well, how much water was given, or when bruises were noticed, multiple times, but phrased differently.
I had laid him on the bed like when I had down my shower, you know. Okay, but he ain't have no with him.
But it smelled like urine?
No, it's his draw is like it was orange draws he had on them, like he had a little pee on it, but I don't know.
Do you think it was from this morning though? Like when
No, yeah, laid it down. It was from this morning. I know that.
Was it wet though? Before he got in the shower, were his pants, so he got out of bed, were his pants wet?
No, his drawers were wet. It's these are wet. Yeah, it was just like a misty pee, like he ain't pee a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But the shorts that he had on wasn't wet. But I took the shorts off, take him a bath or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the drawers had a little bit. You could tell like they had a little bit of pee on.
Okay. And when he got up out of bed, did he walk to the bathroom on his own, or did you carry him?
No, I put his hand. You know, I held his hand or whatever.
But he walked. Yes. Okay. And did he look ill this morning before he got the shower?
He did like it was like a lazy walk. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I was like, "Dude, man, are you okay?" Cause I always ask him every day. I ask all the kids, like, "Y'all all right?" You know what I'm saying? What's going on? How's their day going? You know what I'm saying?
Ortiz contradicts himself, e.g., he looked fine, then he was weak, then he always looked pale, unintentionally proving his story is unreliable.
All right, so I put her in the shower or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Did he say anything hurt? My head hurts, my stomach hurts, my back hurts. Did he say anything specific? Did you see marks on her body or anything?
Well, you know, he always got little bruises on him from fighting and stuff like that. So
Where did you see bruises?
probably like I saw like right here, then on his legs, and then like when his body had cleared out or whatever, like at the blood was a circle that through. I saw bruises where I was pushing that, you know, type of shit on the puke.
So he got one right here,
No, I think like left side.
left side of this leg, or chest, like by the collarbone. Yes. And then he said on his legs.
Yeah.
You know how long those been? Here. No, have you seen those before?
Yeah.
Look, yeah, yesterday or whatever. Saw the bruise or whatever. We like I was fighting or whatever. Can maybe scaredy prayer or whatever. No.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yep. I hear you.
Ortiz starts showing subtle signs of stress, verbal fillers, backtracking, shifting blame to the other kids, or insisting, I don't know, because his internal conflict is rising.
For him, like physically.
I mean, hurting him, yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
How regular does this happen?
Almost every day.
He would say, he cuffed me, he did something to me, he touched me, he did.
How many times?
Probably like 3-4 times.
Over what period of time?
over the last month, 2 months, 3 months. Well, we just found him out about this about two weeks ago. Yeah, probably 2-3 weeks.
So you told you 3 separate kinds over the last 2 weeks. And what was the sleeping arrangements for everybody? Well, like, cause they were in separate rooms, but opposite ends of the hallway or something. I don't know. Right?
Like just my room. From Kira's room.
You draw that just like
I have a photograph memory, so it just helps if you'll see it on each one of the pictures, so I understand that.
The detective asks Ortiz to draw the floor plan of the house, where the kids slept and where he was during the events. Ortiz places himself physically distant from the abuse zone, but also admits he heard crying and ignored it, contradicting his claim of innocence.
So I might,
That means tool. No, why not? And they're up. I might be sleeping. I might have been up all night or whatever, so I might be sleeping and somebody else up front in the living room.
Okay. So where's all this? Where all the when you beat mom?
This is all happening here. Well, I mean, if I'm asleep, I'm thinking in the living room because they're not back there by me or, so now if you be hearing them up here.
Where do you spend most of your time in your room?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever crying? I mean, when you come to a fifth on it, that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Tater, you're crying. What's up? In the back room and we hear him cry or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
or whatever, I might go out there and check on them. Then I would stop.
The detective seems fixated on minor things. How much bacon? What kind of cup? How many ounces of water? Ortiz stumbles. He overestimates the water, forgets basic timelines, and admits to medically unsafe behavior, forcing water and inducing vomiting.
What do you think is your best guess as to what happened here with
And what can you, I'm just coming in and my partner, we're just coming in here kind of blind to try to figure this out. Right? And you know the family a lot better. Eddie, what do you think?
I don't know. I should be. I don't know. I don't know. This just kind of just like out of nowhere, and I'm like trying to help him, but I'm like, damn, what the?
No, I hear you. And if we aren't asking you to tell us something you don't know, we're right now just trying to, put it together in our heads of exactly what's going on and get caught up to speed. So if you had a guess or an idea of what could have happened, let us know. We're just here to figure this out.
Right now, I understand. Like, we're all sure. I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
Ortiz fumbles, repeating, I don't know. His inability to offer a simple theory reveals a psychological block. He knows the answer but can't admit it.
I don't know the details of the case. You really just want to talk with your attorney?
The man accused of abusing a 4-year-old boy, a boy who died, broke down as he was charged with murder. Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves is now being held in the Kent County Jail without bond.
24-Hour News 8's Barton Dieters is back from court with the details tonight. Barton?
Giovanni Mejias allegedly died at the hands of his mother's boyfriend from blunt force trauma to his abdomen. The medical examiner ruled it wasn't an accident. The suspect has been a father since the age of 15, and this is not the first accusation of abuse against him.
So the first count is called felony murder, life without parole.
The 25-year-old suspect broke down when the charges against him were outlined by a judge today.
They're alleging you murdered one Giovanni Mejias. It is called felony murder. It is a felony.
His adult record includes drugs and gun charges, but he has a juvenile record that goes back 13 years before he even became a teenager.
In January 2018, Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves was convicted of felony murder and first-degree child abuse in connection with the June 2017 death of 4-year-old Giovanni Mejias.
Some of the bruises were in the shape of a belt buckle.
I ain't gonna let you, man. I ain't gonna let you sit here and say no crazy shit about me, man. No, man, because he states he don't even know, man.
Sir, the testimony showed that you put this child and other childs in a shower with ice cold water. Anybody says anything back there, arrest them.
A judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder charge, plus an additional 80 to 150 years for the child abuse conviction.
My first charge is perjury. I lied under oath for a man who I thought loved and cared for me. I turned a blind eye. There's nothing I can say or do to go back and change the things. The only thing I can do is look forward to the future. My second is failure to protect my children and blaming a sibling on a sibling. Your Honor, signing my rights off was the hardest and most difficult decision I had to make besides standing in front of you, Your Honor. I signed them off because I wanted them to move past I wanted them to move past this mistake I made by letting someone come in their life. I am far from perfect, and I accept responsibility for your conduct. Again, it doesn't change the past, and it won't bring my baby back. And I have to live with the fact that I failed my children. Your Honor, what you decide to give me is nothing compared to what I have been through. I wanted to apologize to my family, my children, my lawyer, and the courts.
Meanwhile, Giovanni's mother, Sonia Hernandez, pleaded guilty to second-degree child abuse and perjury in June 2018. She received a prison term of 57 to 120 months, approximately 4 years, 9 months to 10 years, as part of a plea agreement.